Welcome back to Evans Repairs and Creations, where today we'll be working on this cheap Chinese four-wheeler. Alright, so here's the four-wheeler. It's just some cheap Chinese one. I featured it in a short that I did recently. And basically, there's nothing really to say about it besides it's a Zebra International. And it has a 150cc motor and it's a piece of junk. Here's our handlebars. Those are going to have to be mounted somehow, but let's get into it. So the first thing I've gone ahead and done is hooked up a lawnmower battery to it, and believe it or not, it actually cranks. So I have my handy dandy long needle nose pliers here. It cranks, so let's spray some starting fluid in it and see if it'll fire up. Okay, since the last clip we've changed location slightly to the side yard, but here we are. I checked for spark, it didn't have spark. I messed with the wiring a ton, and basically, here's the gist of it. I think the CDI box was bad, so this is your CDI box here. I replaced it, here's the old one. And I replaced the coil. The old coil's in the grass somewhere over there. Anyways, even after that, it didn't have spark, and I asked myself, well, what's up with that? And the reason for that is, here is this wiring here, and I saw that, and I had some more wires somewhere that would connect to this, and they had the same colors and everything, but they were all hot wired together at one end, and I was like, what's the cause of that? Well, this is a hot from the battery. That's right here. Then this black with a red stripe goes right here to the CDI box. And then this black goes up to our kill switch. And all those three, when they're intertwined together, do magical electricity things that create spark. And now it has spark. So let's try to fire it up and let's see what happens. So here's our wires all twisted together, put on there. You can tell it's on because it has one headlight and the tail light is on, and if you squeeze the brakes, brake lights actually do work. That's pretty neat. Side note, the front brakes, which are mechanical, down there, you can see them moving right there just a little bit. They do work. I tested them. The rear brakes are hydraulic. They do not work, which sucks, but we do have front brakes. So anyways, let's fire this thing up. All right, let's get this thing fired up. Okay, so got our can of starting fluid here. We're gonna put a little bit of that down in the carb. And here we go. It fired, it fired. Yes! Let's go. Yeah, we'll spray a little bit more. Okay, I'll try to give it some throttle. Oh! Oh! Yes, sir! Did you see that? It moved forward. Okay, all right. Now we gotta hook up the gas tank. Okay, so I got the front fenders on. I have the gas tank hooked up. I went ahead and bypassed, there's a pulse pump right here. I bypassed that and just used our gas tank with a gravity fed. I'm gonna hook up a fuel shutoff, but because right now I just have the pliers on there, but I did go ahead and start it up earlier, and I didn't drive it at all, but let's drive it now. And so yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to kickstart it, and if it gets running, we'll take the pliers off, and then I'll bring it out to the street to drive it a little bit. Okay, so ignition is on. So here as it's running, it runs fine at idle, but when I give it more throttle, it begins to die. I believe that's a carburetor issue, so we're gonna have to take the carburetor off and clean it out.
A few moments later.
Okay, watch this. I'm gonna do a magic trick. And just like that, all of our plastics and seat and carburetor are off. Wow. Now let's tear the carburetor apart. Okay, I had the carburetor all torn apart. I had the float out and everything, but like it looks really clean in here. I took both of the jets out and they both were clear and didn't have any blockages. And everything looked really good, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish reinstalling everything. I did go and hit the whole carburetor and all the pieces with some carb cleaner and emptied the bottle. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall it, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, the carburetor is back in and reinstalled, as you can see. Fuel line is hooked up with a fuel filter just in case. And let's roll it outside and see if it'll fire up and run properly. There we go. Okay, now it runs and rides. Let's put the plastics back on it. Just like that, plastics are back on. All right, let's start it up and go for a ride. Well. Sorry about that. I even let my dad drive it. Well, this cheap Chinese quad turned out to be pretty much a good success. It fought us the whole way. We had to put new electrical stuff on it and fight the spark, and then we had to redo the fuel system, but overall, it turned out successful. It runs and rides pretty good now. Hopefully in a future episode, you'll see me driving it off-road somewhere. That would be pretty neat. And so yeah, that's all for today. So if you like this content, consider subscribing to the channel and hit a like, and I'll see you later. Bye.